Welcome back to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the Desert Sun. I shot a crypto TikTok, and I think I developed this term. It's called crypto gangsta. Anybody in the space who's making it happen, who's interested, who's been around for a while, the OGs. I am not. There's some triple OGs, but um, I think I'm going to coin that term and used it. So, for all you out there, welcome back, crypto gangsters. We've got a lot to cover, and I want to get into it. First, coin market cap. The market is at 1.94 trillion, up about 3.5%. Biggest piece of news that's been buzzing, at least for me, what I'm interested in, XRP. We're back up to 104 and going up. A lot of reasons we can speculate why. Again, I always say this, not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but there's just been a number of things. I will close today actually sharing with you some wise words from someone in the space. I do want to jump over to Ashley Steers. She shared her tweet, and she wasn't misleading or anything. She was asking truly what it meant. I didn't speak legalese, but with regard to this portion in the infrastructure bill that went through, it basically is just defining um, the tax term that was set to start in January 1st, 2024. So just wanted to clear that up. There was some confusion. I didn't want to be misleading or think Ashley was being misleading whatsoever. We're all trying to help each other out here in this space. The other thing I wanted to share is I came across this. It just struck me as just an interesting fact. So, Hester Peirce, I really haven't figured out how to pronounce it, so I'm going to go with Hester Peirce. She, before becoming a commissioner many years ago, it seems like, was in her bio for the SEC a senior counsel on the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, where she advised ranking member Richard Shelby. Now, if you've paid attention to everything going on with this infrastructure bill, this is Richard Shelby is.
37, the Toomey Amendment, 2656, be considered and agreed to.
Is there objection?
Mr. President,
Senator from Alabama.
reserving the right to object again.
That is Richard Shelby, the gentleman who objected to the infrastructure bill. Let's hear him out. And this is literally him objecting to the bill.
And I ask that the senator modify his request to include my amendment number 2535 and that it be agreed to.
Does the senator from Delaware so amend?
I do not.
Is there objection to the original request by the senator from Delaware?
I object.
And there you have it. That is, in those two words, the shot heard around the world in the crypto space. Shout out to Cryptolution, whose video I borrowed for that clip. I can go down a rabbit hole with this and say that this thing is tied in with the lawsuit, and it could be. And the lawsuit I'm speaking of is the SEC Ripple lawsuit and the infrastructure bill. The timing of these things together have been propping up and helping the space. I just can't get over I was beside myself. I just happened to be reading her biography for something unrelated and said, wow, that's just incredible. Anyhow, moving on. Jerry Brito, I've been talking a lot about him recently. He specifically was focusing on a portion of the text where, uh, he said the language needed to be ultimately cleared up a bit. Language he's talking about is this portion in the 2700 infrastructure bill. Any person who regularly provides any service or application to facilitate transfers of digital assets, including any decentralized exchange or peer-to-peer marketplace, and any person who is responsible for regularly providing any service uh, effectuating transfers of digital assets on behalf of another person. Now, um, I don't know exactly. Jerry's a little bit more knowledgeable in this space, more than I am, certainly. But is it better? I don't know. I kind of go by what he says, but this is ultimately showing the difference between the language that was in and the language that was had. So there will be more coming from the House here, inevitably. Um, Now I want to jump over to just some of the speculation that's going on with XRP. This is XRP Crow. Now he put together this nice graph based on some of the trends, and he created a trend line which has a target of XRP hitting 31 by January of 2022, which means that there's going to be a nice bull run happening with a couple indicators. Now, he's got one at 102, which was met here today. The other one being 3, 9, 15, and then we're up and on our way at 30. Some of the other uh, folks in the XRP army wonder what we'll be doing when we get to 30, what that's going to look like. I got a couple things I've been dreaming about over the last year that I'll be doing, but I'll keep those to myself. The other thing that was probably propping up, and I talked about this on the last episode, was this GME remittance joins RippleNet to accelerate and scale payments from South Korea into Thailand. Now, it said that GME remittance was the number one uh, transfer of of capital in South Korea. Um, this article goes on further to actually explain a little bit more of what it actually means. This partnership, established through SBI Ripple Asia, a joint venture between SBI Holdings and Ripple, will accelerate and scale payments from South Korea into Thailand. With 184,000 Thai nationals residing in South Korea, the Thai population is the third largest in the country after Chinese and Vietnamese nationals. GME Remittance joins an existing roster of Korean financial institutions and money transfers companies already on RippleNet. Now, I had said, even though there's things slowing down and it's been delisted in the United States, there are still things that Ripple is doing and the world's still turning for RippleNet. So keep an eye out, just if you're paying attention to things regarding or any news regarding Ripple in this space, just to see what they have going on. There's almost uh, uh, partnerships and agreements happening daily. So congratulations to them. From Mickey B. Fresh, he shared this from Crypto Law, which ultimately is an article about um, a case for an investigation. Now, I have shared in prior episodes, and I haven't in a while because there's been so much that has been going on. But this idea that the former SEC chairman, Jay Clayton, and William Hinman have been benefiting off some of the decisions that they made while serving. Now, what is the big implication? Well, basically, as this article says, the result was a free hand for Clayton and Hinman to pick winners and losers at whim, which opened the door for potential abuse and self-dealing. Now, ultimately, time's going to tell, but these gentlemen both went to work for companies who are heavily invested. I'll name one. I believe one's One River. And I'll probably do a follow-up video to this for tomorrow. But I think it's interesting that now that we're starting to get more attention in the crypto space, you bet your ass that this is going to be coming up, and hopefully will spread a little bit more than it has. I'll give a shout out once again, Blockchain Association. I've been talking about Jerry Brito doing a lot of work in DC. Blockchain Association equally has. Here's an article and a news release they had with their disappointment and the lack of unanimous consent for the Tomey, Warner, Loomis Cinema Portman compromise. A bipartisan compromise at that. End quote. Washington politics prevailed over common sense today. While we remain hopeful a political roadblock may be moved tomorrow morning, we're bracing for next steps. By failing to reach unanimous consent on the Tomey, Warner, Loomis Cinema Portman compromise, the U.S. jeopardizes American leadership in financial and technological innovation. As written, the infrastructure bill contains harmful IRS reporting requirements that many in the crypto ecosystem lack the capabilities to comply with. As a result, many crypto players will be forced to move overseas, leaving future jobs and economic growth on the table. This isn't a child crying over spilt milk. This is the reality. Um, talk about losing jobs to other countries overseas and having Congress hold the door open. This is absolutely a travesty if nothing's done. And we'll see what happens once the House gets back in session. They're supposed to get back in session on the 24th of this month, although they may get back earlier than that. Also, this article, infrastructure bills, crypto concerns are heading to the House of Representatives. This touches on ultimately the vote that came out yesterday, the 69-30 vote. This was toning it as a major win for Joe Biden. However, this puts a huge blow to the crypto industry. And regardless of where many folks in the crypto sphere stand, let's call them crypto gangsters, they're not going to have a favorable look of this administration if they had one to begin with. But at the bottom of this article is a letter that was released. This is Gary Gensler writing. This is from August 5th. And he's he's basically talking about regulations within the crypto sphere. I believe we need additional authorities to prevent transactions, products, and platforms from falling between regulatory cracks. We also need resources to protect investors in this growing and volatile sector. Right now, we just don't have enough investor protection in crypto. Frankly, at this time, it's more like the Wild West. He loves using that term. I think I'll do a little video in his honor on TikTok. But, I always believe that if something's not broke, don't fix it. There are some things happening in the cybersecurity end of things and that probably need to be tightened up. But I think right now they're doing more to constrict private industry than they are to help the consumer. That's just my opinion. I've not benefited from anything so far in the space. Quite the opposite. The next thing is this article here, and this again is just giving another perspective on the broker licensing for U.S. blockchain and how it threatens jobs and diversity. Blockchain enables us to build a new decentralized economic system which will fundamentally change how people save and use their asset and money. However, there is nothing inherently financial to blockchain, and the functions and features of a digital asset should determine its classification. This is an ill-informed, short-signed bill and will continue to lock excluded groups out of an economic system already steeped in privilege. So the gist of the frustration that people in the industry are feeling is that anybody who is working on any kind of technology, whether it be directly related to financial services, which was the intent of the bill, or to something else, which was the ramification of the bill, people are going to feel it. And people who are probably, majority of which might want nothing to do with the financial system. But, again, we'll see what happens. I wanted to close it out today, and this idea of cryptocurrency and the space and the individuals and everyone coming together. Again, might I call them crypto gangsters? Everyone's been giving BitBoy Crypto a lot of grief, especially the XRP Army, based on just some of the conspiracy theorist shade he was throwing our way. Here he is today, and he's got a very different perspective. Listen to him.
Which banks are going to be choosing to use XRP? They chose a long time ago. This has been in the plan for a long time. And those people in the XRP army that we all call crazy for a long time, those chickens are coming home to roost. Because the fact is, whether or not they were going on pure hopium or not, a lot of those people are going to turn out to be correct. The banks.
That is correct. All those people out there that said we were crazy, that said you're a Looney Tune, that said you didn't know what you're talking about, that said, you need to find another hobby. That's going to change. And it's already changing. And we need to be humble. We need to move forward and focus on what's important and spreading the gospel of cryptocurrency to everyone that is unfamiliar with the space. I'll leave it on that note. Thank you for tuning in to Desert Sun Crypto. This is the Desert Sun. I'll see you back here, crypto gangsters.